What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to Bananas Epic Gaming, and today is another ranking video for episode 15 of Bananas Epic Gaming. And today we're going to be ranking all 5 seasons of SuperGirl. Season 5 hasn't started as the recording of this video, so here we go. The season that's in last place for me should come to no surprise to anybody, and that is SuperGirl season number 1. This is basically just an origin story for her. This is the only season that was not connected to the CW all the way. The only connection they have is when Barry Allen accidentally ran from his Earth to her Earth. He was trying to see how fast he can go. I'm going to just do a quick recap for you. The villains are Non and Indigo. If I'm pronouncing that right, please let me know. You find out who she is. Her powers were hidden. You hear she was raised on Krypton, and she was sent to Earth to look after her baby cousin, Clark Kent, and we know him as Superman. But when she came to Earth, Clark Kent was already grown up, and he was Superman. He has been Superman for a while. And she grew up, and she started living with the Danvers family. She works at a company called Catco Media. Cat Grant, who's one of the highlights of this show, is her boss. And Supergirl, of course, is played by the beautiful Melissa Burness. Her core group of friends are Alex Danvers, Martian Manhunter, aka John Jones, James Olsen, who is Superman's best friend, and Supergirl has a little crush on him, and one Scott, her best friend. Her sister Alex Danvers works at the DEO, and they basically hunt and they protect aliens on Supergirl's Earth. Hank Henshaw was a director of the DEO, and it was Martian Manhunter in disguise. He's known as Hank Henshaw, like outside, like from the government, but they call him John. And later on, they call him John. Lacey Lane, the daughter of Sam Lane, the sister of Lois Lane, is one of her friends in the season as well. Astra and her husband Non are the villains. I forgot about Astra because this season is so forgettable. It's not even funny. And the cliffhanger is somebody crashed into a pod on Earth, and we find out who it is in season 2. Is this season worth watching? Not really. Only highlight is the Barry Allen stuff and the stuff with Catco, and if you want to watch an origin story for 22 or 23 episodes, I'll give it a watch, but I do not like this season. Now on to the next season. And the next season on my list is Supergirl season number 2. This is the first season of Supergirl under the CW banner, and I'll explain why it is right here. Supergirl season number 2 picks up right where season 1 left off. Kara opens up the pod and finds out that somebody else survived from Krypton because there was a Krypton pod. And that person is Mon-El. Mon-El is played by Mr. Kai from The Vampire Diaries. I can't remember his name at the top of my head, but he plays Mon-El, and that's Kara's love interest. And this is the first season that we actually see Superman, or Kal-El, in full force, and it is Tyler Hoechlin. You know him better as Derek from Teen Wolf. This season's main villains are the Daxamites. If I remember correctly, they came looking for Mon-El because Mon-El was supposed to be the prince. They came to take over the planet. Cadmus is also there, and we also had the Luthers there too. Lena Luthor and her mother, Mrs. Luthor. This season is pretty good. You still have the villains of the week and all that, and the big bad final fight caused Mon-El to leave Earth because they put something in the atmosphere that made it so he couldn't breathe. So Mono had to leave Earth for a couple thousand years, and we see him going into a portal. So some people thought it was the Phantom Zone, some people didn't. People ship Mon-El and Kara because they are, or they were, dating in real life. I'm pretty sure they're married. We also have Mrs. Martian Hunter in this season. When Scott is still here, we have Metello. Rex Luthor is mentioned in the season. We have Musical Meister. We have another crossover with Flash, and that was the musical episode where Barry proposes to Iris. General Zod is in this season. He's one of their main villains. We have Parasite. We have Alex Danvers' father, and we have Maggie Sawyer, who is Alex Danvers' love interest. And Cat Grant is Cat Grant. She is amazing in this season. And Eve Tessmacher, who is a pain in the neck throughout the seasons. You learn that. This season is a lot better. It's a huge step up from season 1 because this is the season that CW took over, and I'm so happy they did. Because if they didn't, SuperGirl would not exist on the TV networks anymore. Now on to the next episode. Season. And the next season is season number 5. Season number 5 is the season known as the Crisis on the Infinite Earth season. It starts in a month, a little under a month. The main villain is Labyrinth and Midnight. I don't know much about those people, but we still got the main cast. When is supposed to come back for a few episodes. This season could be good, it could be bad. We don't know if Superman and Lois Lane are going to be in it. But this season is a question mark. I haven't heard much about the upcoming season of Supergirl, but I hope that it's good because season 4 was it wasn't the best. I didn't like it. It felt too many politics in that season. Because you can tell they were taking jabs at Trump in my mind. Now on to the next season. And my second favorite season of Supergirl is season number 4. Season number 4 was the season that recently ended back in May. The main villain was Agent Liberty, and like I said, there was like a bunch of politics in the season. That's why the season was iffy for me. Wen left at the end of season 3. He left with Mon-El, who comes back with Saturn Girl and Brainiac, aka the Legion of Superheroes. We learned that's their name. But this season, man, it has its moments and it doesn't have its moments. This season's crossover was Elseworld, and from what I can remember from that season, it was basically setting up Crisis and introducing Batwoman. Because Barry and Oliver swapped places because of the Book of Destiny. Because the Monitor tried to find the right people to face the Anti-Monitor. And now on to the best season, because I'm not going to give a lot away from this season. And the number 1 season of Supergirl, in my mind, is season number 3. Season number 3, the main villain of season number 3 was Rain, a world killer. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to say who it is, but it's pretty obvious once you see her and you see the actress that plays her, because it's supposed to be like a split personality type of thing. This season also, the crossover, the big crossover that they always do, was Crisis on Earth X, aka the Barry Allen and Iris West wedding. They go from their Earth to the main Arrowverse Earth for the wedding of Barry Allen and Iris West. We first meet Saturn Girl, Mon-El comes back, and Brainiac comes back in this season. Guardian is still there. Lena Luthor is there. And This season is one of the better seasons of Supergirl in my mind. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and go watch it, because it is the best one out of the 4 that are out right now. Because it'll be like 3, 2, and then 1. 5, I have high hopes for 5. That's why it's 1, 2, 5, 4, 3. And that's all I'm going to say about the season. Go watch it, because it is a really good season. Because you have the Supergirl versus Rain fight. Then the ending, spoiler alert, that creates Red Daughter. Red Daughter is the subplot villain of season 4, along with Lex Luthor, and that goes on with Agent Liberty. And now, I just want to thank you guys for joining us for Bananas Epic Gaming. If you guys are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.